So, a lot of interesting things happened within this chapter of Blue Box. From Chinastu feeling heavily under pressure, to Hina possibly winning at Nationals, and so much more to talk about. Hello everyone, and this is Anime Awakening, and today we're here to talk about chapter 42 of the Blue Box manga series. A decent chapter overall that helped answer a few questions that lingered from previous chapters, while also showcasing what could unfold moving forward. So first things first, I want to talk about Hina. Now, seeing how she didn't tell anyone the result of her time at Nationals, apart from the principal, I thought was rather interesting. Especially when you pair it with the fact that she wants Taiki to treat her. This could lead you to believe that Hina won at Nationals. I say this because normally when having big/important news to share, you often tell the person who means the most to you first. And in Hina's case, that person would be Taiki. Now, of course, we don't know if Hina did win or not. That is just speculation. However, another thing we can speculate is what if Hina gave herself an ultimatum? What if Hina said to herself that if she won at Nationals, then she could tell Taiki her true feelings towards him? Now this of course would then lead to her needing a plan to get Taiki alone one-on-one in a place where she can safely express her feelings without anybody else overhearing. And this of course would be, her way of doing things by getting Taiki to treat her to some food. And that can also explain why Hina was hyper-focused before Nationals, to the point where it looked like she was ignoring people. Had she said to herself if she won at Nationals she would then express her feelings to Taiki, it would give her that drive to actually knuckle down and just hyper-focus. Also, the fact that Hina is allowing herself to have a treat could also be a big sign to say, yes, Hina won, she deserves a treat, let's let her have one. Of course, she snacks a lot, so this might just be normal for her, but then again, when you accomplish something big, treat yourself. Why not? Either way though, it was great seeing Hina smile once again and back into the series. She looks a lot more cheerful, which I'm really happy about. Go Hina! And really quickly, while on the topic of winners at Nationals, we learn that Shodo won the Badminton National Tournament. Now this of course was an obvious winner, as it didn't really set anybody else up to win, because as far as we know, Shodo is the best badminton player around within the series. It was a little disappointing not to hear anything about the second place person, who Shodo obviously beat in the finals, because I thought that would be very interesting to add that person in to build hype moving forward. Nevertheless though, it makes a little better sort of on Haru's perspective, so that he can say to Karen, look, I may have lost, but I lost to the guy who won the whole tournament, and I took a set off him. That's an achievement. Although, then again, Haru would never gloat about that, would he? He would still be angry and raging, like he is in this chapter. So, when looking at this chapter in general, it did look like a Chinastu focused chapter as we head into her second round match of the Basketball National Tournament. She's against the returning, reigning champions of Nationals, and it's here where we learn a little cute habit from our main female lead. It turns out when Chinastu is under a lot of pressure, she gets into a little ball and curls up almost like a pill bug. This action pairs very well with her actions of sometimes acting childish. This I loved. It was adorable. However, I do have to say, despite all of that, Chinastu feeling under pressure and having all of this sort of burden on her shoulders makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Because her teammates literally just said, Chinastu, Nagisa, we're counting on you. Perform at your best. Even if we don't turn up and actually play well, we know that you're going to carry us. And that's not really good for these two characters. That's a lot of pressure being put upon them. Plus, add on the tension of those rumours about teammates leaving after Nationals. This adds more pressure onto Chinastu as they hope of making this potential last Nationals for those teammates a good and rememberable event. Now, of course, when looking at Chinastu's emotional display within this chapter, we have to talk about sadness. The sadness of having your teammates leave. Now, of course, Chinastu is a character that was close to letting her doubts about playing basketball win. However, it was the practice and hard work and dedication, the passion that her teammates shared with her that helped her enjoy the sport. So losing teammates/friends would lessen the fun overall that she would potentially have moving forward, thus creating those doubts to resurface. Now, I have a small prediction that Chinastu will fall under the pressure and expectation placed upon her within the second round match. Maybe she'll be in a situation where her team will win if she scores this 3-pointer. But unfortunately, she would miss the shot, thus losing. Now this of course would allow that doubt that she mentioned in this chapter to resurface and take over. So she'll return home feeling sad and deflated. And it's up to Taiki to help her out of this mindset and re-spark that passion and drive within her once more. I would love it if during this segment Taiki would meet up with Nagisa and those two would work together to help solve the issues and pressure that Chinastu is feeling to help her stand once more. Maybe Taiki and Nagisa would work together to help maybe convince those friends that were rumoured to leave stay at the club, and thus taking that sort of burden and that kind of sadness away from Chinastu, before they ultimately work on helping her stand on the court once again, removing her from that curled up position that she gets into when the pressure builds too much. Now, of course, the question from that arises, how would you convince or how would you ignite that passion within Chinastu to make her stand back up and want to play basketball again if she gets depressed and down in the dumps about everything and the pressure that gets to her? Well, you could have Taiki repeat what he said in this chapter about Chinastu looking cool when she plays basketball. This line seems really simple, however it could be super effective. We saw how happy the word cute made Hina during the fireworks festival. Just imagine what Chinastu's expression would be like if Taiki just says that she looks cool when playing on the court. Now, of course, the idea of Chinastu looking cool in Taiki's eyes kind of reflects the thing between Haru and Karen, in where they both want to look cool in front of each other. Now, of course, from their perspective, the meaning of cool means something different, but still carries the feelings of admiration, which of course Taiki has towards Chinastu, and Haru and Karen both share back and forth respectively. I really like how this chapter gives us a little bit more information about Chinastu and really showcases her emotional trials that she has to overcome and is currently facing. I am really excited to see how they use her character moving forward because it genuinely does excite me, and I want to see sort of how they develop our main female character after she potentially gets knocked out of Nationals. Of course, I'm fearing the worst here. She might actually win a Nationals, but I don't see it happening just yet. She is in her second year after all. She has another chance to succeed in her third year. So Taiki practicing a love confession. Isn't that a bit cringy? Well, if you say so. But I thought having Taiki express his feelings and saying the words that he did, and of course the expression I love out loud, was a bit of progress from our main protagonist. Maybe he's taking Karen's advice and seriously considering doing what she suggested. The detail that Taiki goes into about the things that he likes about Chinastu, I think again shows small progress from Taiki in terms of his emotional development. But at the same time, we learn more about Taiki's inner feelings and thoughts towards his crush, which I think again is a step in the right direction for his character, because he's reflecting and asking himself questions and understanding his own feelings. Now, this segment of the chapter though I thought gave a more wholesome vibe and was a bit of a difference in terms of tonal shift that the chapter presented beforehand. Of course, what followed this segment was comedy, but the structure of the chapter started off with seriousness and the emotional aspect with Chinastu, then became wholesome and sweet with Taiki, before finishing with shock and laughter from Hina. And speaking of Chinastu and Hina, the two girls were on the front cover image, and this image was great. I say it all the time, but genuinely it looked fantastic. It looked cheeky, and it makes you wonder what Taiki has done to annoy these two girls to the point of pouting once again. Overall, this was a great transitional chapter, and I can't wait to see what happens next in the basketball national tournament. I guess one thing that I am disappointed at is not seeing anything from Hina's national run. Although one way to fix this issue would be to showcase some panels of her reminiscing of her time at nationals during the segment with her and Taiki when they're having their little treat. And that's basically all I've got to say about this chapter. I enjoyed it, and I want to thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. If you did, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this chapter. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and of course, I'll be seeing you next time. Like always, have a great day. Alligator, matane, goodbye.